Hi, I'm Jen. I'm 15 years old, and my story is pretty crazy. It's like a series of different events that all shook up my world in their own way, and now I'm in a situation I can't get out of. I feel betrayed by the people I'm supposed to be able to trust, but the situation I'm in is because of what I did. To better understand what I'm talking about, let me tell you about my family and the day that changed my life. I'm an only child, and I grew up with my mom and dad who've always treated me, well, it's kind of hard to explain. They've never abused me or anything like that, but they had a secret. When I was a kid, my dad worked in a factory and my mom had a job at the grocery store. I remember when I turned 13, my dad lost his job and both of my parents started freaking out about money and bills. It was really stressful. They even thought we might lose our house. We were kind of poor for a while, but we still kept the house and everything, and we ate a lot of ramen and noodles and peanut butter sandwiches. But one day, my dad's friend helped him get a new job, some kind of handyman thing where he would get called out to fix pretty much whatever he could anytime, day or night. He was home a lot, but then he would get a call and have to leave in the middle of the night to fix an air conditioner or something. It seemed like the money was pretty good, though, because suddenly we had nice things and a full fridge. He started bringing home enough money that my mom was able to quit her job and stayed home with me throughout the summer. That was when I started to notice something strange about my mom. It seemed like whenever my dad was gone working, other people would show up at the house. They were usually men, and my mom would always tell me they were friends of hers, but she acted super weird about it and would always go talk to them in another room. I started thinking my mom was cheating on my dad, and I felt horrible. I felt like I was keeping a secret from him, but I didn't know what to do. There was one guy who came over the most. My mom spent a lot of time talking to him and going off to the other room with him. I was sure something was going on. Then one night it got weirder. My mom was taking a nap and I was in my bedroom. I saw headlights outside, and when I looked out, it was that guy's car. My dad was home. I thought there was going to be a fight or something. I watched out the window, and what I saw really messed with my head. My dad answered the door. The man handed him some cash, and my dad gave him a paper bag, and then the guy just got in his car and drove away. What was going on? I asked my dad about it. He said he was just some guy that he did work for, and he was coming over to pick up a part or something. That kind of made sense, but it didn't explain everything. The next day, something even crazier happened. I don't even know what I was looking for, but I knew something was weird and I needed to know what was going on. So when my parents were both out of the house, I went through their room. I found a drawer full of cash, more money than I had ever seen in my life. And then in the closet, I found a large box. Inside, I was shocked to find drugs and all these sorts of weights and measures separated into individual packages. I couldn't believe it. My parents were drug dealers. When they came home, they found out I had been in their bedroom. They were so angry. My dad told me that I had betrayed their trust and that I didn't respect their privacy. Betrayed their trust? Excuse me? What? He told me that I was grounded for a month. I couldn't believe that they were talking to me about trust after all of their secrets. I got so mad, I couldn't even stop thinking about it. So I did something extreme. I called the cops on my own parents. As soon as I did it, I felt scared. I felt bad about what I'd done, but I was still really angry that they were leading double lives. Now my parents are in jail and I have to go live with my uncle. The thing is, I don't know if I did the right thing. Yeah, my parents were committing a crime, but they were good parents. My uncle drinks all the time. He's mean and I hate living with him. Sometimes I think he knows that I'm the one who called the cops and he's mad at me or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if I did the right thing. What do you think? Hey guys, I'm Julie. I'm 17 years old and I'm pretty much your average high school senior. But lately, I've started to question everything about my life and my family. You see, I was raised in a typical suburban neighborhood with a normal family. I never considered myself to be really sheltered, but I guess in some ways I was. I guess you could call me an upper middle class person. My family's never been rich, but we've never had to struggle either. I think living the way I did kind of isolated me from the darker truths of the world, like racism and bigotry. I never really understood what it was like for people who had to deal with these sort of things all the time. That all changed though when I got some real world education about hate. What really surprised me though was that it was in my own family. We got to go back a ways. My story starts with a guy. His name is Jaden, and he's pretty much a dream come true. He's really good looking, and I wouldn't say that I was attracted to him at first, but I always thought he was cute. I just didn't see us being more than friends. All that I knew was that he made me laugh more than anybody else, and there's nothing more important to me than a good sense of humor. The first day I met him, I remember us smiling, and he was making all these jokes. He was just nice and different than other guys at school. He was new to our class, and one of my friends was showing him around. To be honest, at my school, he was probably one of the only black kids. I never really thought about it, but it must have been kind of weird for him to be in a new school where nobody looks like you. I probably would have been nervous. Jaden wasn't, though. He just tried to be friends with everybody and make a good first impression, and it definitely worked on me. We started talking more and more, and I started liking him more. He transferred to our school because his dad was in the military and they moved around a lot. He said he wants to join the army when he's 18, which I think is cool. He's really mature and he knows where he's going in his life. Most people our age don't have their life together that much. I know I don't. Anyways, as we talked and hung out more, we became really good friends, and eventually we started dating. We had so much fun together, and I felt like I was really starting to fall in love with him. We were going out for a while before I ever told my parents that I had a boyfriend. I knew once I told them, they would want to meet him, and they would have a ton of questions. I just didn't want to deal with that, but eventually I had to break it to them. It was kind of weird and awkward for everybody, to be honest. My dad looked like he was upset that his little girl was dating somebody, but he tried to hide it. My mom just asked me a bunch of questions: if he was nice, where he was from, how serious we were, yeah. I could tell that both my parents were a little nervous. Once I told them about his good military family, that he had great grades at school, and how well he treated me, I think they felt a lot better. So, of course, they wanted me to invite him over to dinner. When he came over for dinner, he was so nervous. I thought it was cute. I wanted to make sure that my parents liked him, and I could tell he was really worried about it. I told him that he didn't have to worry because I already told them how great he was. When he first came to the door, my parents both got a weird look on their faces. They looked surprised and confused. We had dinner, and it was the most awkward thing ever. My mom and dad were just unusually quiet and seemed really cold and not friendly like I'm used to them being. My dad even said something like, "your people," to Jaden. I don't know what that meant, but he immediately looked disgusted. He pushed his plate of food away from himself, and after him worrying so much about them liking him, it seemed like they said something that really made him uncomfortable. After Jaden went home, my dad went into the other room and didn't say anything. My mom was asking me questions like, "You know there's plenty of other guys out there, right? Are you sure about him?" I was so confused. He didn't do anything wrong, but they were acting like he was someone I shouldn't be around. It didn't make any sense. But a little later, I figured it out. When my parents thought I was in bed, they had a conversation in the living room. I could overhear everything. They were saying things like, "I thought we raised her better than this," and "of all the boys in school, she has to pick a black one." Although they didn't say black. They said something a lot worse. I'm just editing here so you guys don't freak out. They never said anything about how much he tried to have conversation or all of the other good things about him. They just decided not to like him because of his skin color. And I don't get it. I wasn't taught to be racist, and I never would have thought that my parents were. I'm so angry, and I feel betrayed by my own family. I feel really alone. I still love my parents, but I just wish they could see Jaden for the great person he is. The thing is, I don't know if there's any way to make them see. What should I do? Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.